Have a 12 mini screen repair today. Just a basic cracked screen here. We're going to go ahead and be replacing this LCD. This is going to be one of our standard bronze level screens. This repair is going to take approximately, with me explaining it to you guys, it's going to take about 10 to 15 minutes. Normal speed would be around 7 to 8 minutes, but you know, as we go, I'm going to go ahead and address some things. Excuse the hairdo here, and kind of walk you through how this repair is done. So first off, we want to go ahead and start with by powering off the device first. So went ahead and did that. Let's go ahead and pop off our 2 pentalobe screws down here using our pentalobe driver. So I've already got that first one started. Go ahead and start working on our second one right here. Put good amount of pressure in, slow turn to the left, and then go ahead and pop that guy out. All right, then we're gonna go, this screen was good beforehand, so we're gonna use the assistance of our screen extractor. So I'm gonna turn you guys over this way. And the reason is we want to preserve the LCD underneath this glass so we can recycle it. All right, some of this stuff out the way. Boom, boom, boom. Go ahead and close our heating blocks. Then we're going to lower our top vacuum onto the LCD here. Get a good snug fit. Turn on our screen extractor, which enables our vacuum on this guy. And then we're gonna go ahead and apply pressure of the heating blocks onto the housing of the device to help facilitate that heat transfer. What this does is it makes the adhesive between the LCD and the housing more mendable, so that the screen can lift up off of the housing a lot easier. This process takes about 60 seconds before we start applying leverage against the housing. The bottom vacuum holds the housing down. The top vacuum helps pull the LCD up. And what this does is it helps us remove the LCD without damaging the actual LCD portion of the LCD assembly as we extract it from the housing. If we were to use our flat tool as normal, the chances of damaging the LCD below the glass does increase quite a bit. Not impossible, but hey, you know, if you have the tool, why not use it? So what we do is we apply slow turns here, and as we do, we just find a loss of suction there. Not a big deal. We'll go ahead and apply that pressure again. And that already has a much better suction, I can tell. Steady. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Definitely one of those instances. And then what we will probably do is when we get to a certain point, we're going to use our flat tool to help the separation. Now there is no guarantee we can save this LCD. This is just our best attempt. We're going to go ahead and use our heat gun for the rest of this here. Effective, not a big deal. Sometimes old school is just the best way to go. Flat tool in here. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and try to apply leverage. Standard flat tool is a little thick, but it has a lot more tensile strength. Easier. Boom. Looks like we got it. Now we just apply heat to loosen that adhesive, and this buddy should come right off here. Now Apple did make the 12s, 13s, 14s, 15s, 16s, and I'm sure the 17s flush to the housing, which means that there is no overhang of the LCD. Well, so when I say LCD, I mean LCD and LED interchangeably. That is not an accurate name for the screen on the newer models. Around the X's, somewhere around there. We're going to apply some more heat here. With the structure of the screen and the strength of the adhesive, we're not going to be able to save this LCD. Again, not a factor for the customer. Simply means that we can't recycle this LCD. Not a big deal. So then we're gonna go ahead and move on to our next step and remove our back plates that are covering our flex connectors. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tri-star screws. And then we have one lone tri-star screw holding in our actual LCD flex connector. Now this is a common thing that happens when the top screw is tightened around the standoff screw, right? The standoff screw comes off underneath of it. Not a big deal. All we have to do is hold the standoff screw while unscrewing the tri-star. So boom, we went ahead and separated our LCD. Let's go ahead and remove our standoff screw and replace that back into the device. All right, we're putting our standoff screw back in. Let's go ahead and just unplug our battery preemptively.
So this is the only location you have, right?
So now that the LCD is off, battery's unplugged, we don't need the housing portion of this anymore. Now we move on to, we're going to be removing our Face ID assembly, which is on the back of the LCD there. We've got a singular, two tri-star and 2 00 Phillips screws behind there. So we'll go ahead and remove those, starting with the tri-stars. And apply heat to this guy to help us remove it from the LCD assembly. So we're going to go ahead and peel this back because it comes in 2 portions, kind of folds in like an envelope. And then once we have the speaker module part of the Face ID assembly pulled back a little bit, we're going to slowly peel off our sensors. Now these things are very, very thin. Any excessive pressure will very likely tear those sensors, so we have to be extremely careful as we apply slow, steady, and gradual pressure to remove these sensors. Any excessive resistance, you'll want to apply more heat. Again, this is a gradual process that you do not want to rush. This portion specifically. Reason being is, once the Face ID module is damaged, there's nothing you can do to replace the Face ID functionality to the device. So it's a one-time shot. If your technician damages your sensor assembly, you're kind of out of luck there. That is why it's extremely important to have a well-trained technician work on your device. Now this is our LCD version of the replacement. It is a very economical replacement LCD. We stand behind the quality of it. It's very good. It's not going to be original quality, but it is, again, for the price, in my opinion, very, very good. A lifetime warranty on these screens, so if they defect down the road, there is no reason for us not to honor it as long as it is as long as there's no user damage, you know, as long as it does qualify for the warranty. It's no money out of our pocket to do so. We just remove the defective LCD, send it into the distributor. They send us a new one, but we don't make the customer wait for that. We go ahead and replace it right away, and we'll wait for the new replacement ourselves. All right, we got one tri-star in. We're gonna go and work on our second tri-star here. Always magnetizing our driver. All right, moving on to our 00 Phillips Phillips screws. All right, we got one in there, we got another. Now for my novice technicians, you may see me go fingertip to fingertip for stability. That is just a trick kind of I learned over the years. You apply your pinky to the fingertip of another finger to be able to give you some stability while screwing in those screws. And boom, we have our Face ID module attached to our new LCD. Now we're gonna go ahead and, so historically we've had to transfer the Face ID programming from the old LCD to the new. Now with the new Apple updates, that is no longer required. So we don't have to transfer True Tone to our new LCD. It is just native. All right, so we have our Face ID module plugged in, plugging in our LCD, plugging in our battery. Now we're gonna go ahead and power on the device. Call this the moment of truth. Boom, Apple logo. Now what you don't want to see is when you push the power button, nothing pop up. That's definitely a no bueno moment. All right, so let's go ahead and grab our back plate. Slide that in because it does hook into some metal hooks inside the frame. And once we have that set, we're going to go ahead and put our TriStar screw in. Basically what I'm doing now is making sure these hooks hook into the metal for tightening this screw down. All right, so we got that in there. Now let's go ahead and move on to our Face ID module back plate. We got 5 TriStar screws here. We're gonna start with the furthest to the right. You wanna watch? All right, we got TriStar screw number 2. Go get your chair. She's a Master Technician in training. She loves to watch me fix phones. She loves to watch the repair videos. All right, we got our last TriStar screw in there. Now all we have to do is put this screen down and put our pentalobe screws back in. All right, we got that done. Let's go ahead and test the digitizer. All right, that's all good to go. Now we're gonna just wait for this 1 minute timer for the screen, so we can have the customer put the password in, and he'd be good to go. So here we are. Old screen, new screen. All right, join us next time. See ya.